to have an appetite, because I struggle every day to eat, so that does not make me want to eat. So if someone's going to give me an appetite to eat, I think that will not only make me healthier, but it will increase my quality of life.
I don't think there was necessarily a question in what you said, but I'd like to respond to it. And I would like to respond to this group right here. Those of you that are finding whatever you need to do for your medical conditions to make the quality of your life the best that it can be, God bless you, do it. I am all for you. I am all for you. But this constitutional amendment has so many overarching public health consequences that will affect our children, that will affect our safety, that will affect the workplace, that will affect our environment, that I have to, as a prevention specialist, look at the 98% of the people in our population as to how it affects that in this particular public policy of putting a constitutional amendment. But if you want to toke up, if you want to use marijuana, if you want to extract it, if you need to do that for what you need to make yourself the best you can be, I'm all for that. But don't impose that on me.
That's illegal.
Don't impose it on me.
Well, I mean, there's one important distinction here that you want it legal, but we're not talking about that here. We're talking about medicine. That's a whole different debate about making it legal.
Medicine. Let's make it medicine so it works for you. Let's make it legal through medicine in the proper way. Let's do that.
All right, how long do people have to wait for that?
All right, Chris
How much longer do people have to wait?
Folks, let's get another.
Why you encourage people?
Question,
you don't encourage people.
Hang on,
to
Mike.
use
Hang on. Chris, let's get an instant poll question.
Bob, our final question tonight is, and by the way, on the way out, please put your clickers in the basket outside. Our final question is, do you believe the decision to legalize the use of marijuana for medical purposes should be a state issue or a federal issue? Please click 1 for state or 2 for federal.
Our government ships more cocaine than anyone.
Let's hurry up and vote if we can. Let's close the polling. Bob, 63% say state, 37% say federal, and a gentleman in the front row said neither.
All right, Mike Reverka, go on and continue what you were saying.
You just said to me if somebody wants something to get Marinol. You don't want people to use cannabis because you're worried about people being intoxicated at work and being intoxicated through life. Marinol is entirely made up of THC. If you're worried about 3% or 5% or 10% THC, but now you're going to encourage us to go and get a pill that's 100% THC? That doesn't make any sense.
Well, I don't think THC in that is intoxicating.
It's still intoxicating.
But if it takes care of the symptoms that you have, then yes, do it. Absolutely do it. I don't want it getting in the hands of my children or my grandchildren.
Then you should support a regulated market instead of the black market when you're encouraging everybody to do right now while you're saying to them, if it helps you, if it helps you, go out and do it. Well, it's illegal. So you're encouraging everybody, go break the law in order to feel better. That's what they're telling.
Marinol is
another question.
Go use it.
Marinol is a synthetic tetrahydrocannabinol. It's not a natural.
When you're sick and nauseated, you can't swallow a pill. Marinol is a pill.
That's what
you can't swallow
Sativex is for, and we know that Sativex is in the final clinical trial. So and it takes the epilepsy and the spasticity and the cancer pain. That particular thing is it sprays in the back of your throat. That's almost on the market, and I'm delighted for that because that will do what you need to do.
And there's no way you're going to find a doctor that suggests you smoke something to get healthy.
Exactly.
That's not true. There are doctors doing it every day in this country right now.
Well, let's do a little educating here for a second. You guys got to realize when you smoke cannabis, you actually destroy about 90% of the cannabinoids. You know, we don't recommend, you know, you smoking your medicine. Matter of fact, there's vaporizations, there's tinctures, there's edibles, there's much more efficient, effective ways. You know, that's one of the things they're always trying to hang around our neck. Oh, we don't want to smoke your medicine. Well, I don't want to smoke my medicine either. Yeah. So because, you know, but it is actually a bronchodilator, so people who have asthma can actually use vaporization. It actually helps improve their breathing. So let's be careful. Let's not hang the fact that some people enjoy it and smoke.
It also has the same carcinogens that tobacco smoke has.
Risk and
But
benefit.
it doesn't
debate.
have the same effect because one of them, cannabis,
Hang
tobacco.
on, let's get a question from the audience. These folks are being very
Okay, we
patient.
have a comment here. Go ahead, come on up here.
My name's Kelly, and I have a son who has been diagnosed with ADHD since he was about 6, 7 years old. And he stayed with his father, whose suggestion was to get him on the best insurance, get the best doctors with the best doctorate, PhD degrees, what have you. They put him on something called an amphetamine salt, 2 different types of doses, 30 milligrams. He's 15 years old with the bone density and weight and size of a 12-year-old. His puberty level is not happening. He should be well through puberty right now. These medications that are regulated by the FDA are not giving him any help and have actually harmed his growth. And I will not bring him down here and put him in front of you because I don't want to embarrass him. But I have seen firsthand what these things can do. Aside from giving him mood swings, he's cut on himself. I want him to have a medication that is safe for him to ingest, just like these amphetamine salts that don't trigger severe emotional mood swings, suicidal thoughts. I have dealt so much with him. His emotional level is not that of a 15-year-old. He is very immature and behind where he should be. He weighs 80 pounds. I want him to get the medicine he needs, and I want all the red tape and roadblocking to stop. I want everyone to get a meeting of the minds, come up with your legislation, do what you need to do, but stop letting people suffer in the process. I think more research should be done. I don't think that the research that everyone has right now in front of them includes people like in his situation who have been on these other types of medications, who as a child has suicidal thoughts. My question for them is, if this is approved, what are the insurance problems that we're going to have trying to get something like that for our children? People that are on state insurance that can't afford these high insurances that paid for this expensive medicine that put him in this predicament, how are they going to get their medicine? You know, when is all the red tape going to stop, and when are people going to decide? Just like with the student loans, we put that in Congress's hands. They didn't meet the deadline. You know, their time was up. They never decided anything.
So your answer to that.
John Party, how would that work?
Well, that's a very good question. Number one, you talk about need for research, and that's one thing everybody on this panel I think can agree with. We need more research. There's hundreds of cannabinoids that have yet to be fully studied, and the medicinal potential is amazing. What can be unlocked from this amazing plant, but don't detract from the fact that it's medicine now, in the forms that we know about now. I think there's more to be unlocked, but that doesn't mean let's keep prohibition in place and then wait for 10 years for some medicine to come out in pill form. No, there's medicine that can be had now, and let's continue the research and unlock more potential from that beautiful plant.
All right, Marcy Seidel. Give
No
each of you 1 minute
company
here
in the world is going to pay for your marijuana.
Hang on, Steve. Marcy, we'll give each of you a minute now to wrap up. John, thank you for yours, and Marcy.
Well, we really want a public health policy that addresses the needs of everybody. And as I said earlier in the thing, I said we need to look at what will work for people who have these conditions where they've exhausted every other medication and possibility out there. And then we need to take a look at the public health to make sure that our children are safe. Will marijuana and legalizing this do anything to make our children safer and healthier and more succeeding in school and reaching their full potential? Will it make our society safer? Will it take away the car crashes? Will it decrease crime? Will it handle any of those things in our society that aren't safe anymore? Will it let's take a look at the commercialization of this. I know that there's a slippery slope that's going to go from medical marijuana right into the recreational piece of it. And right now, the commercialization of it's already in place, ready to go. So it will become promoted and targeted to those that are addicted and to youth, because that's where the money is.
All right, Mike Rever.
I just think that we're tired of the feet dragging. We would love for that to happen, but it's not going to. because they have no interest in an alternative to opiate medicine. The only reason that things like Marinol and Sativex and things have come out is because it is medicine, and because we've pushed enough now that pharmaceutical companies have realized they've lost. They wanted to keep it away, and they've lost. They knew it was medicine. The U.S. Pharmacopoeia Reference Guide, the #1 medicine utilized in it from 1850 until 1941, from that entire period, was cannabis. Until 4 years after Prohibition, it was the #1 medicine used in the U.S. Pharmacopoeia Reference Guide. It's been stolen from people. That is what has happened. That is a safer medicine to opiates that has been stolen from people.
Thank you, Mike. And Dr. Madsen, you almost deserve a combat medal here tonight. But give us a laugh.
You know, I really believe this is a public health issue. We don't need another drug out there that is going to lead kids down a dangerous path. Excuse me, but I see these kids every day, so I think I have a right to talk about it. And we have kids that are dying because of drug abuse. And there's no doubt in my mind that marijuana is a gateway drug. They learn their first high. Every one of my heroin addicts started with weed. And if you make it legal, alcohol is a legal drug. You know, if we make it appear to be more safe and that it's, you know, okay to use, a lot more adolescents are going to go down the pathway of addiction.
All right, thank you. Our panel tonight has been spectacular. Thank you very much for all of your comments. Very well put, and appreciate it. John started us off. And we're, I'm afraid, out of time. But thank you so much, Dr. Steve Madsen, Marcy Seidel. Thank you, Marcy. Mike and John, appreciate it.
Thank you.
And thank you all for weighing in, being so passionate, giving us so many viewpoints. We appreciate it.
You guys are welcome.
Thank you again for watching tonight on ABC6onyourside.com. Our debate, town hall meeting on legalizing medical marijuana here in the state of Ohio. The question before the voters, perhaps, come November, a bill right now before the State House. Thanks for joining us. I'm Bob Kendrick from the Columbus Museum of Art. Have a good evening.